This is John. This is part of our hiking series. We're here at 34. We're going to walk downstream. Here we're looking at the overflow for the lock. We'll sweep it over and seeing the main lock. Here opposite the lock is some steps that go down to the river. They're pretty nice. We're going to get down here and take a look at the river and see what else we might see. River, you see that tree out there? There's a bald eagle in it. You can see his head, white head, black body, and some white there on the bottom. We can see a water pump here, and this one has the handle on. And this long wall, stone wall holding the road up. Here's a sign, says river access. The spot below the lock where the water's draining through. It's not listed as a culvert. I think it's just a black drain pipe that the Park Service put in. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, you can see the water coming out and going down to the river. As we walk down, we see this stone wall. It's still with us. I won't film all of it, but when we get to the end, we'll try and show it. Now, coming down Hoffmaster Road, here's a culvert pipe coming out. Looks like a modern concrete pipe, dumping water into the canal bed. Now as we get up to it, let's see what we got on this side. That's another one of the Park Service's plastic drain pipes. So it lets the water come in and they have it go right out to the river. Let's take a look over there. Yeah, we can see it just coming out and headed into the river. Now, from the looks of it, I'd say in canal days, they just let it go in the canal. Let it flow down and help replenish the water supply. Another culvert pipe built into the wall, and it would just empty into the canal bed. A couple more of those culverts down there coming out of the wall. As I look over there and see the stone, I kind of wonder, wow, was that a watermark? But the lower part is not pointed up and the top part is. Now we're getting to a big area down there. Let's look out to the river. Look over at this pipe and gaze up to the cliffs up there. We can see this rock face was blasted. Partially to put in the road, partially for the canal over there. That stonework stops. It's not needed where it's solid rock. Looking out in the river at some of the rapids. So you're hearing this noise since we started of the river and all the rapids. We are getting some great views of the river. Up here we see a footbridge across the canal. This leads to some hiking trails to go up the Maryland Heights. We look over on the West Virginia side, we see the Hilltop House. Across the road at this footbridge, we see water falling down the rocks. The footbridge, it comes out a culvert pipe into the canal. Service is dug through and put a pipe underneath, and the water's coming out the other side, right into the river, almost river level. Another one of those culverts sending water into the canal. That one's another one, sending a little bit of water into the canal. Come to a footbridge across the canal. This is modern to give access to Maryland Heights. There's even a sign. And another running culvert on the other side. Here's the Potomac Edison hydroelectric plant, which is no longer in use. If you look to the right of it, you can see some of the stonework. Here I see stone steps going down and all kinds of rock outcroppings in the river. I imagine when the river's down, it's a good fishing spot. Looking across the river, that's Harper's Ferry. As we swing to our left, we can see the train bridge. Coming up with another feature. It's a mile marker. Mile 61 on the C&O Canal. And look up here. On the side of the towpath is a big fat goose. We're going to look at it as we go by. Yeah, he's checking us out. Another culvert pipe emptying into the canal. And some more down here. This is part of that long stone wall. So they're really all over. Here's another one. We keep seeing them as I look down the wall, just one after the other. Raining out these high cliffs. Look at that. It looks like the bottom of a big tennis shoe, the tread. That's up there in those cliffs. A view of the train bridge going across the river. Some of Harper's Ferry there. Trees are coming out and blocking our view a little bit. And we see the train bridge. You can hear the bells at Harper's Ferry. Cliffs on the Maryland side across from Harper's Ferry are pretty impressive. Through the piers from the train bridge, we could see piers from other bridges that were washed away in past floods. Now we're coming up on the lock 33. Way up on the rocks, we see someone standing up there, almost at the very top, just one step down. Do you see him? You can see the guy made it all the way to the top. Up there doing moves. Here we are looking at several things. First off, there's a lock on the bottom. To the left is the overflow. That looked like it was also a dry dock at one time. Behind that's an old stone house. And to the right of it, if you see that tan structure, that's the beginning of the railroad tunnel that those tracks you see go into. There was Amtrak coming out of the tunnel. You gaze up here through the lock and then out back into the canal. Stonework on the towpath side. There's a culvert to drain the canal. Some pillars there in the background. So we see several train trestles here. It's here at the mouth of the Potomac with the Shenandoah coming in across from us. This was a busy area back in canal days. Right across from Harper's Ferry, commerce went back and forth and up and down the canal. We're looking up at the train tunnel. See 1931 in the concrete and Harper's Ferry underneath that. We swing to the right. This is the staircase that goes up to the town. You can cross a bridge and make your way into Harper's Ferry. You can see some old abutments and piers here from one of the old bridges. Try and see what we can see out there in the river. Not much. See, a bridge started there. Here's a pillar. There's a pillar. You can see where the pillars used to be, those little piles of rocks. Then as we look across, The river here, that's where the Shenandoah comes in, and there's evidence of a bridge there with several piers in the river. You'll see on the berm side, it's all rock, all the way down still. And now it's also on the towpath side. Remains here of a river lock, a place where you could come in and out of the river to the canal. Also over to the other side and unload there, then the bridge there would take stuff over to Harper's Ferry. You can see what's left of the bridge now, just the piers. Across the river, we could see 340 over there. And look down, there's a rapid. And then our left will be train tracks. We may see a train or two go by. Come up on a notched granite stone. That's so out of place here. We can see the 340 bridge crossing the river. That's where we're headed down to turn around there. If you look out in the river, we can see the rapids. Those are some of the reasons the canal was built, to get around all the rapids in the Potomac. Here's a nice open view of the river. You can see the mountain raising up on the other side. Reach the point where the train comes out of the tunnel on the downhill side. There's evidence of a bridge up there, then the tracks go through. Continue on down the trail. As we look along the side of the towpath, there is a stone wall built there to hold it up and keep the river back. Down to lock 32. We look at the lock, we swing out to the river, and we're not too much higher than the river right now. So when it's really up, you can see why this is taking a beating. There's the 340 bridge. It's the direction we're going. Oh, we're coming up on something. The Appalachian Trail joined us back there at Harper's Ferry, and this looks like one of their markers. What's that mean? It means keep hiking straight through. Look over the railroad tracks up there. We can see the houses of Sandy Hook. A lot more water in the canal now. It's stretching from one side to the other. And up on another canal feature. It's a mile marker. Mile 60 on the C&O Canal. We've come up to a little makeshift bridge going across the canal here at Sandy Hook. Here's one of the park's culvert pipes, and it's a big one. Let's see where it goes. It's draining the canal. We're coming up on the 340 bridge. That's our turnaround spot. So here we are under the 340 bridge. Up and over to the Virginia side. Our turnaround, we're going to be heading back upstream. Back to mile marker 60. Kayakers out on the river. Like he's taking a little bit of a beating there up against the rock. There he goes. Mile marker, mile 61 on our way back. So we'll move on up the towpath. We're back in the parking lot. We made our walk down to the 340 bridge and back. It took us about a half an hour each way. So put this on your list of things to do. Hiking the C&O Canal. See you next time.